everyone, my name is Taapas Trivedi and welcome to We Are Here. Hi Danish.
Hi, Taapas. For those people who don't know me,
So,
let me give
hmm,
my introduction, man. Don't steal
yeah,
the
yeah,
spotlight.
yeah, yeah.
For those people who don't know me, I'm Daanish Patel, and yeah, welcome to We're Here.
So, Danish, how's life?
Life's good. Alhamdulillah, it's good. Hectic, but I'm liking the hectic part.
Heck, yeah. Uh, how how has life been in the past week?
Uh, again, hectic, man. But yeah, I like the hectic part because it's a bit challenging to do a lot of stuff at the same time. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's nice. So today, you didn't ask me, but ठीक है, I'm moving on.
Sorry.
Today,
How
नहीं
was
नहीं.
how was your last week, dude?
It's like so we talk every day, but we don't talk to everyone every day.
How was your
You know,
past week, man?
you gotta pretend that we're talking for the first time in a week.
It's difficult, bro. You call me every single day and trouble me, so like I can't do that.
I think the past week has been again. It has been hectic. We're pulling through. So yeah, I think I really like this year. Uh, Pretty nice. So yeah.
That's good.
Thank you, Danish, for asking me how my week was. Today we're gonna talk about gifts. So for me, gifts have been very integral to every occasion, special occasion that we celebrate. So
Mm-hmm.
whether it is our birthdays, whether it's our weddings, whether it's Christmas, which is all about the art of giving gifts, but I think every occasion sort of is made special by this thing that we do as human beings, that is giving each other gifts. And I
Mm.
think if aliens were to see us, they would be really baffled by this concept of giving each other these physical possessions to just, I don't know, mark our love for the other person.
One question: what makes you think aliens won't give each other gifts? I mean, it could be.
No, but it's a very human thing to sort of, do. So the history of giving gifts has started not from human beings, but from chimpanzees.
Oh, really?
So chimpanzees would give, so male chimpanzees would give female chimpanzees gifts, in hopes to mate. So that's where this entire idea of gifts has really begun. And so our cavemen used to do it. And then if you look at Native American tribes, so the more gifts, so in a typical Native American sort of tribal community,
Mm.
if you have if a person is giving the other person gift, so their social rank will be dependent on the gift they're giving.
Okay.
So if they're more powerful, their gifts will be more, in abundance, or they'll be better than somebody who is from a lower rank.
Mm-hmm.
And the amazing thing about Egyptians is they used to bury their beloved people uh, with gifts, and so it was thought that those gifts would help them in the afterlife.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard this somewhere.
Yeah. So it's a very human thing to do. So I really don't think that aliens would sort of uh, believe in giving each other gifts. So it all comes down to sort of physically symbolizing your love for the other person. And
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know. So if love does exist in other entities, if that emotion does exist, then I think they would have found other ways to communicate that rather than, giving each other physical objects to sort of denote their love for each other.
I would like to come back on this topic, but let's talk more about. Before I interrupted you, you were going to say something before the whole alien
About?
thing started.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So yeah, and so just that. So the history of the entire idea of giving gifts has been really fascinating. And And I think, it is one of those things that makes us human, and it's so well
Mm.
integrated into our society that if you do not give gifts, you are sort of
Mm.
gonna be looked upon,
Look down on.
because looked down on, sorry.
Yeah.
So uh so I think it's this very fascinating thing that we sort of always overlook, but it is what makes us human.
Okay. I uh, I don't know. I just want to come back to that alien topic again. I'm sorry for like coming back to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It's. I feel that it's gifts are like, of course, not just like physical things, you know. And
Yeah.
secondly, what again? See, what makes you think that to them, to the aliens, we are aliens to them. We've never met them,
Yeah.
so for them we are considered
Yeah.
as aliens, but for us they are, right?
Yeah.
So you never know
Yeah.
what they might be like, or what gifts they might be giving, or what for them, what their love language might look like.
Yeah.
So it could be possible, again, very very, it's a very long shot, but it could be possible where they have a very similar culture to us, where they actually give like physical gifts. You never know. We don't know if they exist, right? So, and we don't
No,
know where they do.
so the entire concept was that you have sort of uh trapped love into this physical object.
Hmm.
So you have made it very tangible,
Yeah.
and that is how we've evolved. So chimpanzees cannot communicate with each other. They can only show their love.
Mm-hmm.
So again, now this is highly debatable. The aliens, I mean,
I That's why I was coming back to it.
yeah. So like other creatures, I don't know how would they be like, but if love does exist like on a very universal basis, so I'm not talking about the world, but I'm talking far beyond the world. If
Hmm.
that emotion, if that concept does exist, then of course they would have found a way to sort of communicate that with each other.
Yeah.
So we've now learned to do it with words, but we sort of come from that idea of making it very physical. So
Hmm.
I think they would, either it's making it physical, or I don't know. I mean, your imagination can run wild here. Like they could find other means to communicate their love.
Hmm.
But and it also, so giving gifts also, it's a message. So it's a message that this relationship that I have with this person that I'm giving the gift to, I
Hmm.
value it, because I'm pouring a lot of time and commitment into it.
Yeah.
And it is also a statement. So again, you're physically vesseling the love, so it's also a statement of solidarity. So the Statue of Liberty was
Hmm.
a token of gift from
Yeah.
France. So
Yeah.
it speaks volumes about not just people but also countries.
Hmm. True. True.
And yeah, so Marcel Mauss was this sociologist who told that if a person rejects the idea of giving a gift,
Hmm.
they they're dismissing the relationship they have with the other person. So if you go at a birthday party and you do not give the other person a gift, from a sociological standpoint, you're sort of dismissing that relationship you have with that other person, because that entire idea of giving gifts is so ingrained into our social fabric that you
Hmm.
have to do it, you have to comply.
Yeah.
So that is why when we were young, we would often get pissed at our parents for not if they would not give us a good enough gift. We would feel like they are not sort of valuing the relationship we have with them. So we would always reach to that conclusion that they do not love us enough.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So even I think when we grow up somewhere, we have that child in us. So we do expect the people that we really love to give us good gifts, meaningful gifts. Now that now what makes a gift meaningful is altogether a different topic. but we'll come to that. So what
Yeah.
is your opinion on all of this?
I feel like you said, it's so deep into our social culture that we keep giving gifts to show our love or to show our bond or respect to someone. I feel like somewhere it the true meaning or value of love and friendship and bond is lost in those physical things. I feel like there's much more to that, like there's much more ways we can showcase those things to the other person rather than just giving gifts. And because it's become such a social norm that everybody has to do it just so that the other person feels like, oh yeah, they love me, or they're my friend or something like that. So I feel that, of course, to certain extent, it is a good thing. But then I feel like it shouldn't be all about that. It shouldn't be all about giving gifts, or it shouldn't be all about the physical things. You know, I feel like we people could get used to that point where it shouldn't be just about those physical things.
Interestingly, so I read up a lot of research about gifts. So when you give someone something expensive, the
Hmm.
reason why we scratch off the price tag is that if you give someone something very expensive, they will feel indebted to you. So they will have this need to repay you. It happens very psychologically because
Hmm.
an expensive gift feels like debt. So
Yeah.
I would really think that a meaningful gift is something that is very thoughtful. That is, I mean, it does not need to be cheap or expensive, but it should reflect the giver.
Hmm.
So it should reflect what I am in your life in a way. So it could be it should be meaningful.
Hmm.
I think the best gifts are always out of nowhere. So what I often do is when I think if we are talking on a day to day basis and you mention something very insignificant,
Yeah.
so I would sort of note that. So again, it would make you feel like I am really listening to everything that you're saying and I'm keeping that in mind. Of course, I'm doing that. So when you get that gift, it does make you feel special that this person has taken the time and the effort out to sort of look at you on a very personal level and not
Hmm.
just give you gifts that would sort of solve, I don't know, so sort of satisfy you in a way that I don't know how to put this in words. So I mean, if I
Satisfied.
would if so like if no so if I were if I were to give you I don't know, something like a perfume, you you will feel good about it because it's
Yeah.
something that you do use on a day to day basis.
Yeah.
But if I give you something others would find insignificant but is significant for the both of us, something
Yeah.
that you might have mentioned in a conversation, that would have a much more impact on you.
For sure. I'm not denying with that fact. All I'm saying is
Yeah.
we've gotten so lost into just those things where it's all about
Yeah.
physical gifts. I'm saying giving gifts is good. It makes us feel
Yeah.
special. It makes us feel good. But all I'm saying is
Yeah.
it shouldn't be just about that. There's so much more
Huh.
to love, friendship, and everything. Like
Of course,
it's
but
I'm not talking about
but
us. I'm talking about people in general where they're lost. Like some people, like suppose if you and I are like really good friends, of course we are, but like you expect me to give you a gift and I don't for any particular reason,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then say you just get like really upset with me saying like you said previously, where where you're not acknowledging the love for the other person by not giving them a gift, which uh which I feel is like wrong. I mean, it again, like I said, it shouldn't be just about the physical things. Of course, if I don't give you a
Yeah.
gift, doesn't mean that
Of
I don't
course.
love you in that sense, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but see, again, I am talking from a very general standpoint. So giving gifts has become a norm in our society.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
something that we all sort of mutually decide upon without saying anything. That's a norm.
Hmm.
So if somebody were to disobey that norm, it sort of suddenly throws you out of that group. You get
But
what
that
I'm saying?
shouldn't happen, right? That,
No, of course, that should not happen, but that's how it is generally.
okay.
So, and I think that's what we also learn as children, because I think that's when we sort of pick up on this idea of, getting gifts and then giving gifts.
Hmm.
It sort of, so even the concept of return gifts, they sort of
Yeah.
then acknowledge you that thank you for coming to my party,
Hmm.
and they sort of make you feel special. So it becomes a norm, and then for that norm to go away, I mean, it's looked upon from the society, because क्यों जाना है norm तोड़ के? Why do you want to go against the herd? And this thing, again, it's been something that we've been passed on to from our ancestors. That's like from chimpanzees. So to go away from that norm, it has a much greater impact, on our
Yeah.
social standing. So that is why even when you go to somebody's house, people tell you that you should get them a gift, because
Hmm.
if you don't do that, it feels rude, even though you do not intend it that way. So the entire reason it is said to be polite is because, again, you're just showing your love through that physical object. It's wrong, again, debatable, but that is how our society is structured. And at times, I do think it's a very beautiful thing that
It is.
when
It is.
when done when done right, yeah, when done right, and it sort of just hits you with a lot of happiness, because, again, so you do recognize that this person has taken out so much of time and effort to you know give this gift to you, and it also becomes a reminder of you. So if that object is with you for a very long time, if it's ingrained into your day-to-day life, it sort of becomes, it manifests into a into this reminder of you.
Hmm. For sure.
So
Like
your
for me,
presence is manifested into that object.
yeah. Like for me, one of the most beautiful gifts I've gotten was from you itself. Right? You gave me a bottle opener, and you had written
Yeah.
like a note on it, and I think it's one of the most beautiful. It's such a simple gift, yet so beautiful to me, and so meaningful to me
Yeah.
that I've like.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not using it. I've just like kept it like right
Yeah.
there. I've saved it in like a treasure drawer or something. So for me,
Yeah.
it's very simple yet beautiful and significant because we know the
Yeah.
story behind it and we know the love behind it.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
one thing that okay, I'm being a very very pessimist over here, but one thing I'd like to add is like I don't like the fact that a lot of people in today's world judge the gift by its value. I don't
Okay.
like.
I don't get what you mean.
I mean, like,
Elaborate.
yeah, I'll say I'm being a very pessimist here. I apologize for that, but that's just like I feel where like suppose I like you gave me a bottle opener, a very simple yet a very beautiful gift to me, and I love that. But a lot of people in today's world, even if like even if you give them say, um, like a 3,000 rupee or 4,000 rupee gift, they'll be like, oh, others have given me like more expensive gifts, and why has this person like just
Yeah.
given me such a cheap gift? So maybe that person doesn't care for me enough. So I
Yeah.
don't like that when people judge the gift by its value rather than the sentiment that it was given by.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
feel
So
on that?
I
How?
so I believe that as children we sort of pay more attention to the value coming from the monetary standpoint.
Yeah,
And as we move towards adulthood, it sort of becomes more about the sentiment.
but that's not in
So,
general. That doesn't happen all the time. A lot of adults
yes, that does
also.
not happen.
Yeah.
That does not happen all the time. And again, this depends from person to person. But the people you are referring to, I think they come in the minority,
Maybe. Yeah.
because so again, it's more about, so for them it's more about, it's again how much does this person love me, but for them it comes from the standpoint of money. Ki, oh,
Hmm.
this person loves me equivalent to 10,000 rupees, or oh, this person loves me equivalent to 3,000 rupees.
Hmm.
So again, now it comes down to what their beliefs are, and how they judge or how they sort of record, uh, I don't know, the value of the gift. But it again comes from person to person.
True.
But I want to now add something. So a good gift will always reflect the giver. So it will have the personality of the giver. So that's why the gift that is the most unique is the most memorable. So even in the case of the bottle opener, that is because we had
Mm.
countless conversations about me joking that now because you're going to Germany, you're going to drink a lot. So you need
Yeah.
a bottle opener. So it's a very insignificant thing, but so that same gift would not work if somebody else would have given you.
Of course.
So that reflects the giver. But I I don't know. So I also think that when somebody rejects your gift,
Mm.
it hurts the giver, because that sort of makes the giver feel that your gift is not worthy enough to be in their lives. Now I'm going to bring that Friends episode where
Mm.
Ross finds out that Rachel has been exchanging gifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and it just hurts you. I mean, it's the most horrible feeling that somebody has dismissed your efforts, uh, and they have gotten something for themselves. And so again, they also started debating in that episode whether it is a very selfish thing to do or whether it was the right thing to do, because Ross is definitely hurt, because Rachel has just dismissed his effort and his thought process into giving that gift,
Mm.
and she just did not like it, so she just replaced the gift. Because after all, I mean, the idea of a gift is so that you give the other person something that they want.
Yeah.
So that again, I don't know, becomes very I don't know, it just becomes a very tricky situation where what would you, I mean, now I'm asking you, what would you pay more attention to or more importance to, whether that gift is meaningful to you, or would you like protect the other person's feelings and efforts that have gone into buying you that gift?
I would definitely protect the other person's feelings and love and the thought behind the gift
Yeah.
rather than,
Yeah.
even if it's not meaningful to me, I wouldn't, of course, I would never dismiss a gift for sure.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
do realize and recognize the thought and the love and the sentiments behind a gift. A
Yeah.
person has put so much thoughts and efforts into giving you a gift, and if you don't give
Yeah.
them the appropriate reaction or the good reaction, they'll feel broken.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
would, of course, I would pay more attention to the thought and the sentiments rather than the
Yeah.
meaning of it in my
Yeah.
life. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of people, the people who give me gifts especially, are the people who are very close
Yeah.
to me. And um, of course, I've never been like, oh, I want this, can you give me this? They give it to me.
Yeah.
They give some gifts that they think that I would like or would help me in some
Yeah.
cases, right? So I think the people who give me gift, of course, they have put a lot of thought into it, so they know that it has some meaning in my life.
Hmm.
And apart from that, of course, I'll prefer more the thought and the sentiment rather than the meaning of the gift.
Yeah. And I think it also reflects the sort of the selfish nature of the giver, because they will sort of look at you, and I mean, they also feed off that reaction of the person opening the gift, like when
Yeah,
they're unwrapping it, they sort of look at the reaction. Oh, and if they don't react well, it just hurts the giver. So I don't
true.
know. So the entire, so it gets more weirder than that. So there is no I don't know. So it's just so weird that this act of sort of manifesting your love into a physical thing has so many social obligations that you also have to follow. You can't be rude,
True.
and you have to give the appropriate reaction even though you don't like the gift,
True.
and you do so much to sort of fit into the social fabric, that I think in that process, that entire emphasis is moved away from it being this act of sort of showing that how much you love this other person,
Yeah.
and it just becomes something that you have to do in order to, fit into the society, and
Hmm.
in order to not look bad uh, in the society. And that's why people also record people opening gifts,
Yeah.
and it just puts so much pressure on you.
True. By by
So
by
yeah.
that, yeah. Sorry, complete. I'll say
No,
after
no,
that.
continue. I did not have anything to say.
After like listening to all this, do you remember the tradition we started a few years ago where we would you, me, and Gia, we would give each other two gifts on our
Yeah,
birthdays. One
yeah,
one was
yeah,
something that you wanted, and one was like an
yeah.
embarrassing gift.
Embarrassing gift. Yeah.
What,
It
what,
started with me.
yeah, it started with you. We gave you the first gift. I think that's
It's
also a
too
very
embarrassing.
beautiful tradition.
Yeah, yeah. It's very embarrassing to say out loud what that was, but it was definitely very helpful.
Really?
I would just say they were like my it was like वो अपने क्रिकेट खेलते वक्त अपने वो बॉल लटकाते हैं ना ऊपर से to just
Practice that time.
practice. So I think it was very beneficial, and it did pay off. I would tell that to you. It did pay off. So yeah, I think it sort of also increases it it again reaffirms our bond together.
Yeah.
Like we share something that that only the three of us can share, and I think gifts have the potentiality to do that. So the next time you sort of give a gift to someone, don't be lazy towards it, because it could mean the world to the other person.
Yeah.
And some people just hand out cash, so that's again something that society is looked upon. But I think that's the most perfect gift from an economist's point of view, because you're not wasting anything.
Yeah.
You're going to use that cash 100%. But like, for example, if I mean your grandmother would give you a sweater that you would not like, I mean, you would take it, you would have the appropriate reaction, but all of those resources were going to
Hmm.
are going to go to waste. So instead of that, if you were handed out cash, you would just get something that you would you would want, and none of the resources would go to waste.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah. So next time, if it isn't rude, just ask the other person what they want, or pour your love and energy into it, and make them feel special. Because so again, so the reason why I wanted to do this topic is because gifts are a very beautiful thing if done right. Again,
Yeah.
and it has the ability to spread love, because at the end of the day, as human beings, I think we should do our part in spreading love and happiness to the ones around us.
Hmm.
And it need not be any special occasion. uh, gifts don't need a reason. But if somebody's having a bad day and you're not good with words, or you just want someone to hold on to something tangible, a gift is the perfect way to sort of lift their spirits up.
Yeah. I think in today's world, all of us need to add a little bit of love to this world and to the other people in our life.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's quite necessary. So yeah, I think gifts is a very good way to show that
yeah.
love. I think show the other person that they're important to you.
Yeah,
But I think it has been a good episode today.
yeah. It was a nice conversation. I enjoyed that.
Me too. I did as well.
Yeah. So yeah. So what are your plans for today, Danish?
Man, to be honest, I have a lot of studies to do. I have a lot of exams to give, so I have to study. That's all I'm gonna do.
That's nice. That's nice. You still did not ask me. I am not
I
gonna.
was
I am
about
not.
to ask. Give me
अब
a damn
अब
second.
मैं नहीं बोलने वाला.
Give me a
अब
damn
मैं नहीं
second.
बोलने वाला दानिश.
Give me a damn second. What are your
You are
plans,
the
Tapas?
rudest person alive, Danish, and I have come to this conclusion 50 times now.
What are your plans,
I
bro?
don't.
Please let me know.
I
I'm very interested in knowing
I don't really have any plans. I just have somewhere to be. So, and then I'll just wind down for the evening. So I think, yeah.
All right, that's a good plan.
That's a nice plan. Uh, so yeah, I think that was about it. It was lovely having you, the rudest person alive, Danish.
Oh, come on, dude.
Uh,
I'm not rude. I'm not mean. I don't know why people say that. A lot of people are like, oh, the first time I met you, I thought you were very mean and rude. Which is not true. You get to know that I'm a very gentle and very kind person after knowing, you get to know
sure,
me.
Danish.
Oh, come
Sure,
on.
Danish. You can defend all you want. Anyway,
Go on.
we hope we hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead, week ahead, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, this next week, you'll see us. Like, hopefully, we figure out how to do the whole video thing. We are having a pretty hard time figuring that out. So yeah,
All right. Sounds good.
yeah.
See you guys then.
Have a
See you next week. Have a
beautiful day
great
ahead.
week.
See you next week.
Thank you
बोल
guys.
दे
नहीं, thank you guys. Bye bye.
Thank you everyone. Bye bye.